I'm not trolling around. Apparently somebody hit top 100 legend with this deck. Before we get started with today's video, I just want to give a quick thank you. Thank you to everybody in this community that has made this possible. We are now partnered with Rogue Energy. I have been getting a lot of potential sponsorship opportunities, and this is just one that definitely came to fruition that I am really proud of, because I'll just tell you right now, I'm not really a big fan of energy drinks. However, Rogue sent me a care package. They sent me a cup with a bunch of different flavors and whatnot, and I've actually got a tub that is soon to be on the way, so trust me, I'm going to be using this product a lot. But I am not a big fan of energy drinks. I don't like the jitters and the crashes that they end up giving me a lot of the time, but I did not experience that with Rogue in 3 different days of trying it out. So I'm going to keep trying it out, and I'm going to pass on some of the savings to you guys. So use discount code Clark69, nice by the way, in order to get 20% off of your next order with Rogue Energy. And thank you again to Rogue Energy for partnering up with me. Now let's check out the new deck spotlight. I have no idea how, and I definitely have no idea why anybody would play this deck legitimately at top 1000 legend, or even at top 100 legend, but apparently somebody was able to reach rank 72 legend playing Troll Demon Hunter. That's right, we are not trolling you here. This is a legitimate deck, and this is the proof in the pudding, and I actually played this deck as well myself, and this deck does a lot better than you would originally think, and there's a legit reason that I will be able to explain here coming up once we take a look at the meta. But let me go ahead and break down what exactly is going on with this deck, because, well, apparently all you have to do is just play face cards and play this new combo with Proving Grounds in order to deal the maximum amount of damage. So if we take a look at the deck real quick, right here in the Hearthstone tab, it is all about Troll Centurion, in case you guys have not seen this card since Alterock Valley, which is really not that uncommon because this card has seen almost 0 play since its introduction in that expansion, like about a year ago, I think. But regardless, Troll Centurion works perfectly when it kills itself with Proving Grounds. So it's kind of funny how this card literally doesn't see play unless, you know, you're running it in the most goofy way possible. But regardless, this goofy strategy is now a legitimate way to win in top 1000 legend, because the meta is just super aggressive right now, and it's all about just dealing as much damage as you quickly can, and we'll take a look at the meta tab here in a second. But really, this deck does make a lot of sense when you analyze it, because if you do top deck Troll Centurion, if you do draw your patches, you don't have to worry. You still have Dispose of Evidence in order to put it back into the bottom of your deck. But something else to not sleep on, this card is just a 0 mana deal 3. So you have a lot of situations where you're just going to play out your entire hand, unload everything to the face, and then play Proving Grounds in order to deal that last little bit of damage. Because remember, with this combo, you don't need to deal 30 damage total. You just need to deal 14, play Proving Grounds, and then the rest of the damage is going to fill itself up perfectly. So that's where the key part of this deck really comes in, to where you need to maximize damage every single turn. You'll keep your Sigil of Alacrity, your Dread Prison Glaive, and there'll probably be times that you're going to keep Multi-Strike, because there are a lot of 1/3s or 3 attack or 3 HP minions in this meta. So you're going to be dealing a lot of damage very quickly, to where Proving Grounds on turn 5 on coin could very legitimatately kill your opponent. But if we take a look at the meta, everything will start to make sense, because right now there are a lot of really powerful decks that range I guess in class representation. I'll go ahead and move myself a little bit here so it's easier to see. But here's what's going on at top 1000 legend at all of the regions right now. And I have to say that things are starting to get a lot more aggressive, especially when you look at the most recent 3 days. So in the past week, Miracle Rogue, Undead Priest, Unholy Death Knight, Aggro Mage, Imp Lock, and Death Rattle Rogue are all on top. If you notice a common trend here, they're all extremely aggressive decks with the one scam kind of combo deck that's sitting on top here. But then if you look at the past 3 days, Tier 1 has completely been overtaken by Unholy DK, but there are still a lot of Tier 2 options. Miracle Rogue, Undead Priest, Shockspitter Hunter has somehow come back thanks to Ron Mexico. Quick shout out to him. Check out his Twitch stream. Phylactery Warlock, another hyper fast combo deck. APM Priest, one of the only counter strategies to all these aggressive metas, to where, you know, you can run healing and run removal and eventually outvalue them. Quest Druid, another way of doing a similar thing. Death Rattle Rogue, Aggro Mage, Imp Lock, Quest Priest, Big Spell Mage, Frost Aggro Frost Aggro Death Knight are all the decks that are doing extremely well on ladder right now. And it makes sense why this deck would do well. Because it's just another aggro deck, and it's not, it doesn't have the weaknesses of aggro DH to where you summon a minion, the minion doesn't do anything, and you effectively wasted your turn if your opponent removes it. This is just a deck that goes all in, dealing as much damage in each individual turn as possible, so that way you can just immediately kill your opponent with the Proving Grounds play, so you don't have to think about it. And there's something that I kind of don't like about how this meta has been developing, and this isn't to be a criticism on, oh man, there's so much variability that I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not a fan of, there's a lot of variability with the classes, but not a lot of variability with archetypes right now. The only archetypes that are playable, as you can very well see, are decks that are hyper aggressive, hyper combo, or like the 1 or 2 decks that are not in those archetypes that can actually manage those popular decks at the moment. If you take a look at the lower ranks, we have Fell Demon Hunter, Beast Hunter, and Thief Rogue, some of the more mid-range, mid-game decks that really aren't doing too well because this aggressive meta is pushing them out. And you look at tier 4, you have Pure Paladin somehow going to the bottom. I don't understand that. But you have Control Priest, Ramp Druid, these other big control decks that are just not going to work right now because this meta is way too fast. And I don't believe this is really going to change until we get a rotation, but I just felt like that was important to note because there's a reason why these aggressive decks are performing so well right now, because you need to be ending the game as quickly as possible. If you're, the only way you're not going to be doing that is if you're playing a priest that has a lot of healing. But there's really not too much else to say about this deck since I already told you guys the Mulligan, but I'll put a detailed Mulligan guide down in the description below so you guys can check that out in case you want any more information on this deck. But it is a very straightforward deck. You just deal damage, and then you play the Proving Grounds, and you win the game, and it really doesn't take all too much thought. There will be some games coming up ahead that will showcase how to play the different ways or the different strategies of this deck in case you don't get the Proving Grounds. But really, it's just all about being able to maximize your damage every single turn and being able to be wary of possible taunts or specific minions that might get in the way of your victory. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel to be notified about any of our future updates. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this deck breakdown, and we'll see you for the next video. Having a ghost type was insane. Remember the Pokemon anime, dude? The Pokemon anime was literally giving you tips on how to beat the game. I've never, ever, ever evolved Haunter. Are you saying that because you didn't have any friends to trade it with? Is that the real reason why you never evolved your Haunter? Trust me, I remember those days. Emotional damage. Dude, I remember like when I found out that I would never be able to get like the Haunter, when I found out I couldn't get Alakazam, and I've been holding on to my Kadabra for so long. Remember when you're a child, and you're not familiar with the leveling system, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. Pokemon seem to evolve around 14 to 18, and then 32 to 36. So when you're sitting with a level 50 Kadabra, and you're like, why the fuck isn't this thing evolving? On my cartridge of Pokemon Yellow, I could evolve my Haunter with a friend, but I refuse, so my Haunter is level 100. I mean, hey man, it learned the moves faster. I remember, like, Haunter was just a goofball. I would literally sound like that, but I don't know if that was different from the Japanese version. It was probably an English voice actor, the one that I heard. 100% a goofball. Goofy little dude. Alright, we're just smacking him. I think we win this game, dude. I may not even coin out the dredge weapon. Oh my god, I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers so much, dude. I think I'm gonna go for a risk here, so I can set up a guaranteed lethal. Wait, hold on, how much damage is this? 3, 5, 6 puts him at 17. Oh man. Yeah, I really can't do anything about it. So I guess I'm just gonna do this and just hit him in the face. We still deal 16 next turn, which is important. And if I end up top decking Sigil of Silence, but I'm worried about him scamming me somehow, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Who remember Machamp, best fighting type in Gen 1? I mean, it was like one of the only fighting types in Gen 1. And you also gotta think about, remember how you had to choose between Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan? Wait, did he just concede? Okay, he didn't concede. We'll get rid of the top of the idol. He's at 1, so I can kill him with the Fell Barrage. Oh wait, there's also Mankey. I forgot about Spanky my Mankey. I forgot about Spanky my Mankey. I apologize. But yeah, there is Mankey. But like, you don't get Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan until like a certain point in the game. And like, they're so like far behind on your team, you really gotta invest the time into them. Did you see the new Mankey? The new Mankey evolution is weird. I don't know how I feel about it. Let me double check it again, because I remember seeing it and I was like, what the hell is this thing? It almost looks like a freaking like, yeah, like what is this thing? It's a fighting ghost, right? It's a fighting ghost type, right? Like, look at this guy. He looks like a Mankey that was put into the freaking the dryer. And that's why he's so mad and ghost type. Wait, is he actually a ghost? It definitely looks like one. Yeah, it's a fighting ghost type. Be gone. The way that you evolve them is that you make your primate use Rage Fist or whatever over and over. Oh, wait, no. Isn't this what happens? He literally gets so mad that he dies and becomes a ghost. UPVOTE is also emotional damage. Everyone remembers that Pokemon episode. They eat Slowpoke tails. Bro, I played Gen 2. I remember reading that being like, who would eat a Slowpoke tail? And then my next question was, man, it has to be, how delicious is it? They make the food look good. That was always something I've wondered about in Pokemon, though. Like, how often do they eat Pokemon and they just don't tell you? I don't know about you guys, but, Tepig looks delicious. I want a Tepig ham sandwich. That might be mighty fine delicious. They also, yeah, they eat Magikarp as sushi. I remember, like, wasn't there an episode when they were, like, trapped on a cruise ship or whatever? Some Magikarp fillets. Bro, you gotta do something with all that, with all those carp. Like, you gotta stop the Gyarados problem. Think about it. This is actually a humanitarian thing that Pokemon trainers are doing. They're catching Magikarp, they're eating them in order to stop them from evolving into sea serpents that are so legendary that if you go out to sea, you'll never see your children again. Think about it, guys. The Pokemon world is one of the most dangerous places to live. Okay, so Gen 1 was definitely Arcanine. Arcanine was my favorite, like, and it always will be. I love the idea of having like a canine fire dog by your side. Arcanine is the best Pokemon, and I don't think there's any change in my mind. Hard pause. Think all animals and most plants and Pokemon of some form. What else is there to eat? Exactly, dude. What's the win rate so far? We're 3-2, but we could have been 4-1 if I played correctly. This deck is actually working, and I'm not even paying attention to my games. Oh yeah, Crobat. I also loved Crobat. Crobat was a Pokemon I would always go for in some of my reruns of Gen 2. Okay, so my perfect Gen 2 team, if I can remember correctly, it was Crobat, Meganium, Gengar. What were the other three? I needed a fire, I needed a water. Oh, Gyarados. I love Gyarados because you had the red Gyarados. I was always that person. I love shinies, I don't care. But Gyarados was a Pokemon I always loved. Tyranitar is a badass, but it's hard to get it in your team at the beginning. I would, like, whenever I would redo the Gen 2 runs, I would always, like, have, like, a team in mind, and I would train them in waves. Like, I would not fill up my team until I got the Pokemon I wanted. Okay, I need to find, dispose. I need to dispose the evidence. I'm gonna do this first. Is that the magic number now? I don't think I'm gonna play multi-strike just in case I need to kill minions. But I do have this. Next turn, I think we 100% have to play Topple, though. The perfect world bit on slavery of other sentient beings. Yeah, imagine if your Pokemon had, like... I'm sorry, if hold on a minute. Like, imagine if your dog had sentience to where it could talk to you. And it also had the capability of overthrowing the world because it's a freaking, like... It has fire-breathing abilities or whatever. Muck, aka cum, bro, Nintendo, what were you thinking? Why are you doing this? Oh no, that's not what Muck is. Don't tell me that sock that I threw away has a Pokemon in it. But yeah, I gotta love Tyranitar as well. Gengar is literally an angry human soul. That's bait. G-Cheese used an excuse to make trainers question themselves. I actually don't know what you mean by that. What is a G-Cheese? If I look up why is Muck called Muck and I'll find an explanation of that, it's gonna be some kind of conspiracy website. You are serious, bro? All right, give me a wiki link. I need a wiki link. Wait, what the? Hello? What are you doing? Am I getting garroted? Am I getting garroted? It's a meme? Okay, alright, alright. It's a meme. Good. How much damage is this? Okay, there we go. I mean, he has to do his garrote combo, like, now. So this proves that even if you draw Troll Centurion, like, you can still win without the Proving Grounds. Okay, so Gen 1, definitely Arcanine, Alakazam, and probably Gengar would be, like, my third favorite. I like I like the starters, but the starters aren't my favorite. But my starters gotta be, I gotta go with Charmander. Charizard's just too good. Grimer and a Muck, you reverse Muck, and it's come. Okay. My hand is too full. Sometimes it happens. Yeah, it's a pile of pollution. I wonder if there's like an acronym for Muck. But okay, so if you reverse Grimer, it's Renrig. What is this guy doing? Smokescreen? Wait, he drew his entire deck. Dude, this is 100% Garrote. It 100% has to be Garrote. You need to see a doctor. I don't know, man. Maybe he's on to something. Let him cook. Let him cook. Oh yeah, dude. Okay, so we did Gen 1. Arcanine, Alakazam, Gengar. Probably some of my favorites. Gen 2 would probably be a Meganium, Lugia, Crobat. Gen 3